Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost, amen. But dear friends, maybe someone doesn't like the Good Shepherd Sunday. Today is Good Shepherd Sunday. We celebrate our Shepherd, our Lord Jesus Christ, who was so merciful to us. When we were his enemies, he loved us, and he did after him. I think the best example of Good Shepherd is Cure of Ars, of course, who is the patron saint of the shepherds, of the parish priests, who laid down his life for his people, living in a box. Imagine yourself living in that confessional over there. Imagine me waking up at 4 a.m., going there and hearing confessions until 7:30 to say the Mass. Then, at the end of the Mass, I would say a few prayers. I would go and eat some rotten potatoes, and then at 9 o'clock, back in the box for 3 more hours. And after 3 hours, back here to say the breviary or whatever, and visit some people, maybe touch some rotten potatoes or so, and back into the box at 2 p.m. until 6 o'clock. Back outside to pray again, maybe to eat some what he called the coupe faim, the cut hunger, and then back into the box again until midnight. Then he would not go to bed until 2 o'clock to say some more prayers. That was the life of the Cure of Ars. And in the eyes of man, what a horrible, wasted life. But it was not the case. He became the patron saint of the shepherds of soul. Even Pope St. Pius X loved him very much. And on his desk, Pope St. Pius X had a statue of St. John Mary Vianney on his desk. Because he was a hero of even this great saint, St. Pius X. And Good Shepherd Sunday is also Father de Boister, a wonderful priest who was sent to Molokai. He's not yet canonized the right way, but in my opinion he's a saint. And he went to Molokai Island, near Hawaii. And on that island they would send all the lepers, because in his time there was no cure for leprosy. If you became a leper, it would eat you up until you died, until you are completely defaced, until you cannot even eat your own food because you got no fingers anymore. And you got no lips around your mouth, no nose on your face, no ears. And your eyelids are disappearing, and you are hideous to see. And so he went on that island of Molokai. When he arrived there, nobody wanted to listen to them. They were all cursing God for their state. They were all in a state of despair. And they tried to commit as many sins as they could before going to hell. That was the mentality of the people that he found on the island. But he was patient. Then he fixed the church. He built the church with his own hands. And then he started to take care of them. And then he himself became a leper. Like our Lord. Our Lord made himself a leper for us. We were saved, says St. Peter in the epistle of today. We were saved by his wounds. It's by the wounds of our Lord. Our Lord had no reason to help us. There is no reason. Once you make a mortal sin, you are done with. Normally you are done with. Why should God have anything to do with you? You are rebelling against him, you are his enemy. But still, because our Lord is good, because he pitied us, he is truly merciful. Misericords in Latin means to have a miserable heart for the miserable man. And so he felt miserable for us. Not only he felt miserable, but he put on all our miseries upon himself. There is no other way for us to be delivered from our miseries. And so you can see that just like sin is a slavery, is an imprisonment, like people today, they are slaves of lies. They are led by the nose, literally now. And they are made slaves of all these lies. and they are led into misery. So just like sin makes you caught in a prison, Saint John Marie Vianney became a prisoner all his life of the confessional box. And just like sin makes you a leper, makes you stink, it makes you horrible to see before God, so our Lord became horrible to see. And there was no sanity in his flesh from the top of the head to the plant of the foot, the sole of the feet. That's what Isaiah says. Tom, all our miseries upon himself. And that's why there is nothing more beautiful on earth than to have a priestly vocation and to devote oneself for the salvation of souls. It's a consolation that even still today, despite pornography, despite the slavery of the cell phone and all the other diversions of the world today, there are still young men interested in priestly vocation. It's a miracle. It's a miracle. Why should a young man sacrifice his life for the salvation of souls? And it's still happening. And so for this, I rejoice. I invite you to rejoice with us. And it's the meaning of the feast of today, the feast of our Good Shepherd, that we still have some young men interested into laying down their lives, offering their lives, their entire lives, and they could have a happy marriage, find a sister soul, and live a happy Catholic marriage. But no, they sacrifice the joy of having children also in order to have spiritual children. And so pray for vocation, pray for the preservation of vocations. Pray for Elias so that he may be ordained in due time. You continue your prayers until it's done. And then you pray for the other vocations that are coming. Pray for this priest in Bacolod, who is tired of Nevis Ordo and shows interest in joining tradition in its fullest sense. That would be nice, It would be very nice if that priest could join us and add his efforts, especially in an area where we don't have much of a presence, Negros Island. It's my dream that we have a presence in Negros Island. It would be beyond my prayers even if that priest could join. Some man says he's coming to visit the seminary and he wants to make the step. So you pray in order to thank God for the shepherds you have now, Father Juma, Father John, and in order to get some more, because there is such a vast ocean of souls to come and help. There's a vast ocean of souls who are crying for true shepherds again. And then we will put an end to this crisis of the church. We will rebuild the church on a sure foundation. And eventually, certainly, God will grant us a good pope. Not a bad one, not a heretical one, but a good pope. And bishops who truly care for the salvation of souls. In our Father, and the Son, and the Holy Ghost.